Administrative relations are divided between center and state. Distribution of executive powers between center and state. We have seen under legislative relations we have seen distribution of legislative subjects or not. Similarly here, distribution of executive powers between center and the state. Obligation on states. Who is giving this obligation on states? By constitution. Third one, center directions to states. Next one, mutual delegation of functions between center and state. Cooperation between center and state. Next one, all India services. So, distribution of executive powers between center and state. Earlier in legislative powers, we have seen that distribution of legislative subjects. For example, if you see 7th schedule of the constitution, in the 7th schedule of the constitution, the division of powers. So how many schedules we have? 12 schedules. Originally 8 schedules are. So in those schedules, the 7th schedule is dividing the powers between center, state. So the legislative powers were divided between the center and state, like union list, state list, concurrent list. I already told you the total subjects, why these subjects particularly added in center list, why not in state list? Uniform law is required. Entire country uniform law is required. Two qualifications are needed. One is what? That the subject may be having national importance, that is why you are adding into central list, union list. So you have to question why these subjects only in union list, why not in state list? So you added in union list because of they are having national interest, and also uniform law is required for entire country. Similarly for state list, regional interest is there and so much of diversity. So those kind of subjects added in state list. But what about concurrent list? Not compulsory. Uniform law may be desirable, not required. So may be desirable. Uniform law is desirable, so but not compulsory. In such cases, you can add them into the concurrent list. If you add something into the concurrent list, both center and state enjoys the legislative powers on the subjects of concurrent list. So concurrent list లో పెట్టినటువంటి అన్ని సబ్జెక్ట్స్ మీద సెంటర్ కి స్టేట్ కి ఈక్వల్ పవర్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఒక ఎక్స్ అనే సబ్జెక్ట్ మీద సెంటర్ కూడా లా పాస్ చేసింది అనుకోండి, సెంటర్ లా పాస్ చేసింది, స్టేట్ కూడా లా పాస్ చేసింది. ఒక మ్యాటర్ అనేది రెండు ఓవర్ రైడ్ చేసుకుంటున్నాయి అనుకోండి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ని మనం కంకరెంట్ లిస్ట్ లో పెట్టినాం. స్టేట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ ఎంసెట్ ని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తున్నాయి కదా, సెంటర్ వచ్చి ఏం చేసింది, నీట్ తీసుకొచ్చినా అన్నది. ఇప్పుడు సేమ్ మ్యాటర్ మీద ఎంసెట్ ఉంది, నీట్ ఉంది. సో అప్పుడు సెంటర్ ఏమన్నది, కొన్నాళ్ళ వరకు ఓకే, బట్ స్లోలీ ఇట్ విల్ బి రీప్లేస్డ్ బై ద నీట్. ఎందుకంటే మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, ఎంసెట్ 1, 2, 3, 4 నో 1 క్యాన్సిల్ చేసి 2 పెడతావు, 2 పెట్టి తర్వాత 3, అంత కరప్షనే, అవునా కదా. సో అట్లా కాకుండా ఏంటి, నీట్ కండక్ట్ చేస్తాను పెట్టినప్పుడు కొన్ని గైడ్ లైన్సెస్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు ఏంటి, సో దోస్ గైడ్ లైన్సెస్ నీడ్ టు ఫాలో. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఎడ్యుకేషన్ రీజనల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉందా లేదా, స్టేట్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉందా లేదా, ఎస్. సో ద లోకల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ మరాఠా స్పీకింగ్, మరాఠీ ఉంది. సో ఏం చేస్తారు అక్కడ, ప్రైమరీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ must be in their own language. And the state also having some interest in the basic education and also in education subject. But recently if you have seen the national education policy brought by central government also, because education became what, concurrent list. Earlier education was in state list. Because of the desirability, you shifted this subject from the state list to the concurrent list, so that now education qualified to be what, the center and the state qualified to be pass the laws. Yes or no? If the same matter, on the same matter both center and state passing the laws, means the center overrides over state matter. You getting the point? So for example, on X matter both state also passed the law, center also passed the law. If it is in the concurrent list, center overrides the state. Are you getting the point? You have to follow now NEET. Are you getting the point? So, in any matter, if the same matter, state and the center both pass the law, whose law prevails over whose law? Center law prevails over state's law. Okay. Now, here, the distribution of, similarly here you can observe, legislative is replaced with the executive powers. Yes or no? Now, distribution of executive powers between center and the state. Now, whatever the matter or subject mentioned in union list, on those matters, center enjoys executive power. Those matters which are mentioned in the union list, on those matters, executive powers also enjoyed by whom? The center. For example, we told defense. Now, defense is the union list. So, about defense, parliament passes laws. Now, about defense, central executive takes the decision or not? If any defense matters comes. So, is a state executive, is there any state executive for defense affairs? No, the central only. So, he enjoys the powers over the executive powers on those subjects which mentioned in union list. Similarly, on those matters or subjects which mentioned in state list, state enjoys or state executive, you can say state executive or state enjoys executive power. Now you all know 61 subjects are there under state list. On those subjects, who enjoys the executive powers? State. Now state executive plays role. Yes or no? Agriculture, for example. Agriculture is the state subject. Police is the state subject. Now, according to the chief minister, so our state home minister plays role about the police or not? Yes. Now it's not central home minister directly directing the state police. No, without informing to the state government or state home minister, because police is a state subject. State enjoys executive powers over policy. So agriculture also state subject. The state agriculture commissioners will be there, agriculture officers will be there, and state policy is there on agriculture. So state executive gives the directions time to time related to in that state whatever the reforms they want to bring for the agriculture. So the state executive enjoys the powers. So now are you understanding? So on those subjects which mentioned in union list, center enjoys the executive powers. On those matters which mentioned in the state list, state executive enjoys the executive powers. Now tell me, what about the concurrent list? So in the exam, consider the following statements. On concurrent list, the subjects which are mentioned in the concurrent list, both center and state enjoys the executive power. That is wrong. Legislative subjects, it's okay. How come executive subjects both can do executive? See, now you are performing one job, ma. Now same job in the center also performs. What happens? Both powers are coincides or not? Then some problems will come or not between the central executive, state executive. And now you already know that I am great. That situation happens. No? Yes or no? So in order to stop those kind of problems, in concurrent list, whatever subject mentioned, whatever subjects are there in concurrent list, state enjoys executive powers. Who is enjoying executive powers over concurrent list, ma?